Hello and welcome back to Knoxville, where Tennessee just got its first ranked win at home of the season after playing a really tough out-of-conference schedule. It's all been on the road. It's all been at neutral sites. Well, today they were in Knoxville. They took down the 20th ranked Illinois team 86-79. Almost a wire-to-wire, except for that middle part of the game right before halftime and right after halftime where Tennessee fell behind, but they were able to finish strong and come out with a win. I'm Ryan Sylvia. This is Noah Taylor. We're with VolReport.com on the Rivals Network, and we'll start with you, Noah. What was the biggest thing that stood out to you tonight?
I would have to say Santiago Vescovi and what he was able to do. I know we talked about it after the George Mason game, what happened in North Carolina, him sitting out for stretches, getting in some foul trouble, going scoreless, which you haven't seen him do in his career that I can think of, since he's arrived here. A guy they've expected a lot out of because you return so many veterans on this team, him being one of them. You saw a little bit of kind of a transition against George Mason on Tuesday where he was able to kind of look a little bit like his old self. Today, he looked completely like his old self for Tennessee. A guy that's trying to find his role on this team with Dalton Connect now being kind of the main, pacing this offense through 8 or 9 games now. But Vescovi had a huge performance. I think right here in this corner next to us, he hit that three as part of that 10-0 run, making plays like that. He was asked, or we didn't get to talk to Santi, but we did talk to Rick Barnes. He did say that, he has been dealing with a lot. He missed that Michigan State exhibition because of some family matters. He's been trying to finish school, so it's been a tough semester for him. So he's been doing a lot of external factors, that may be showing up a little bit on the court, but we're starting to see, I think, the last 2 games, what he's been able to do is kind of what we expected to see out of him, given what he's been able to do the last couple of years. And I think that bodes really well for this Tennessee offense, as today's result can say.
Another guy that's trying to maybe get back into rhythm, recapture the magic of last year or the year before is Josiah-Jordan. Obviously a defensive threat, and he's been solid on the defensive end, but it felt like maybe this was the most comfortable game for him, the most connected on both sides that he's had. Speaking of that 10-0 run, to get that 10th point, he comes in, rips away an offensive rebound, and finds Dalton Connect for an open 3. So it's been just kind of an all-around day for Josiah-Jordan, and a lot of guys, like you mentioned, Santiago Vescovi, getting back into the rhythm of things and showing kind of maybe the ceiling of what this team looks like when they have multiple guys firing at all levels. Josiah-Jordan finishes the day with 9 points, but it was really the defensive end that I thought he did the best, stopping runs in transition and things like that. So another guy who's going to want to build off of today and continue to play better going forward. Anything else that stood out to you?
The rebounding. When we were putting our preview together, and obviously coming into this game, we knew that would be a huge factor in this. Tennessee kind of struggled at North Carolina in getting the ball back and rebounding. Illinois came into this game being one of the best in the Big Ten, certainly one of the best in the country. And you look at in our preview, we do the numbers edge. They had a kind of a sizable advantage in rebounding. Tennessee wins that battle today. And obviously when you win that battle, there's a good chance you're going to win the game. Tennessee out-rebounded them 43-34. And so a huge, factor in this game for Tennessee, getting second chance points, things like that, keeping the ball on the offensive end, and then getting the ball back on defense as well. That was kind of, I think, if you were scouting this game, that was one of the things for Tennessee to have success. You're going to have to out-rebound a very physical, also a veteran team as well. So winning that battle was huge for Tennessee today.
Yeah, and an Illinois team that's really good at rebounding as well. So not an easy task to get the advantage on the boards, but that's what they were able to do. Before we get out of here, of course, got to give a shout out to Dalton Connect. Another night for him, over 20 points. He finishes with 21 on 7 for 14 shooting, leading Tennessee in this game. We mentioned that pivotal 10-0 run that happened in the second half. He was responsible for a lot of those points. Kind of took over the game at that point, and Illinois was never able to get back into it. And kind of the first game for him at home in front of a sold-out arena against a big opponent. Of course, he's played in the matches against George Mason and Wofford and some of these other games, but you have another Power 5, Power 6 school in Knoxville, in Thompson Bowling Arena, a sold-out crowd. He kind of looked like he was feeding off of it maybe a little bit with some celebrations after he made shots. So it was cool for him to have such a good game after coming off of that injury against UNC. Ended up playing against George Mason, but really looks like there's nothing lingering at all for him. So that was a good sign to see. That'll do it all from us here today in Knoxville. We have football coverage, though, wall-to-wall for this preparation for the Citrus Bowl, and then, of course, men's and women's basketball coverage as well. So make sure you head over to VolReport.com for all of our content. Links to everything you need is in the description. Thank you for watching.